Hey, sugar. So very happy to have you here. Let's see what is in the ether, what you need more information, guidance, and clarity on at this time. All right. Divine, may we have the three best cards to describe the energy we need to talk about? Three best cards, please. So, what if over analyzing imagined futures, back and forth, emotional yo yo, on and off, confusion, and then living in memories, past replay, stuck emotionally and sentimental. Well, the sentimentality is definitely killing the future between the two of you all, because just in looking in general with the energy, what you've been doing or what's been going on between the two of you all, what the relationship has been doing is just like skimming the surface. Okay. So, um, it's almost like the relationship is on like a little trolling motor. Like you just kind of take it real easy breezy. You don't try to apply too much pressure because you're both a little bit skittish. As much as you want each other to be loyal to each other in terms of a committed and exclusive relationship, neither one of you really want it seriously, because it means a lot of responsibility that the both of you desire for someone to have for you, but you don't necessarily want to be responsible to give it to someone else. And that's just an honest assessment. That doesn't mean that's what you do. That doesn't mean that you feel like that's how it should go. It just means that's probably what you want. I mean, think about it. It's not a bad thing to want somebody to just be at your beck and call and do what you want them to do. I mean, ideally, no, but it doesn't mean that that's not how you feel from time to time. Who doesn't want to get served and be served? You know, it's the level of comfort that you have with that. But that's just to say that if that is an energy or a vibe or a feeling that you've had before or during this process, that's fine. It's how you act on things. It's not what you think about, it's how you act. So, what you choose to act on. Um, but just like, don't beat up on yourself if you thought that, because the relationship is kind of born out of necessity and self serving energies. Situationships, they're not something that are born out of partnership, really. Or, no, it's really not. It's really about serving a purpose. You both like each other a lot, and liking someone and being attracted to someone is one thing, but really wanting to be responsible to a person and understand a person is another. And so if you have an understanding, which it looks like is going on here with this back and forth and what if, there's this guilty feeling of saying that you really should be in a relationship and there's no reason for you to be out here accepting any and everything. These are flashes and waves that come up across both of you. Like, why am I doing this? When you see the person, especially when you all have a really good time with each other, then it goes into this place of, why are we just around here BSing when we know we really should be together and everything else? But then something comes up with one of you go across, or a boundary that you didn't know was there, and then the person pulls back. There's damage there. There's a lot. There's trauma. There's hurt. There's pain. And so that's where you both become, ineligible for commitment. And then it's living in memories, which is a little bit of a mixture of both things, of where you're living in the memories of how good things are with you guys when you're not in your head about stuff, or you're not trying to put any outside influence on what you have going on. I mean, what it should be versus what it is, and what it should be according to society standards, if you will. But then you have living in memories of where, when you guys do start to kind of make a turn, or do a little bit more of it going uphill towards things, and getting a little bit stronger, and trying to build something tougher and more durable with each other, meaning it can take a little bit of this and that, which is what you need in a relationship. You got to have some grit. Then all of a sudden, the memories of why you don't want a relationship comes in, and you start going back towards, no, 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 no. We turn around, let's go back to situationship status. So let's see. All right, darling, deep breath. Open mind, open heart. See what the divine needs you to know. Let's get some energy on cause and effect, please. Details, 10 cards, please, divine, if you will. The Four of Swords, starting off the energy, is this willingness to sit still. You guys don't really have a problem giving each other space to go over things and deal with whatever is shaking you up a bit. Like when either one of you run for the hills, when things get a little too close emotionally until the point that it makes you uncomfortable, and then you start fight or flighting. The other person kind of has this instinctive understanding that everything is cool. You just need a minute to go off and do what it is that you need to do, and you're gonna circle back. And it goes both ways for that energy. The Knight of Wands is here, the Sun card, and the Lovers in reverse is where, you know, the Knight of Wands is a very passionate and fun energy in this particular setup of energy of cards here. And you guys have a really great, passionate, and adventurous spirit and energy towards each other, just in general. Like there's things about the both of you, that you really, really admire in each other. You have hobbies and things that are very, very cool to each other, and you just like are into those things, and that's also how you guys are really, really super connected. So in the sense that when that moment happens where you start thinking about long term, and maybe we should just go ahead and be like, let's just stop messing around, let's go ahead and do something serious, things like that. That's where that energy comes in at. The Sun card is here. Overall, this connection is a very positive point of light in your life and and lifestyle as a whole. Like you really don't have any complaints about this person. It's just this weird space that you find yourself in from time to time, which is what we're here about today. That the relationship actually, because it feels like you guys come into this energy about the same time every cycle that this is happening. This is not something where one of you is on that page, other person is on something else. It's not that. You guys have been rocking for a very long time. Every situationship isn't in the shit. Some situationships are really, I know this gonna sound weird to say, but they really fucking dope. Like you really do have a person that's like on the team, and you don't really have to go out and deal with nobody else, because this person hitting all the points that you need, plus some extra shit that you didn't even know you wanted. But you both are in this like weird space internally, right? Of where you're just in the void with when it comes to romantic relationship. Like you want it, you like I want it. But and you start thinking, and you said no, 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 hell no, and you start pulling back because that pain was serious. And unlike other folks, and wherever they were, you like walked through the fire. Like you like, I'm not going through that shit again. But nope, we're good where we are. And hence that part of where y'all run for the hills. It's like it's cool. It's fine. Meanwhile, this person go off. When the other person goes off and get busy doing their thing, and they waiting for the call, and they know they're not waiting in vain. The Lovers in reverse is a serious wish that you two could really connect in the way that you feel that you should be connected, but it just might not be time in this situation. Meaning that the divine is still working with you, apparently, but you're close enough that you can see it, which is what aggravates the shit out of both of you all. But you're respectful enough to run for the hills when that time happens, because you know it's not the other person, it's really you. It's like, at that point you are the drama, and you take full responsibility for it. Excuse me. The Three of Swords, Ace of Wands, Three of Cups, Knight of Swords in reverse, Four of Wands. This Three of Swords here feels like mutual betrayal. You feel like it feels like that there's this mutual energy that you both keep breaking each other's heart and letting each other down. Albeit because there is a deep rooted block on your romantic emotional energy. There's a block there that has to be handled. and you both have it. You both have your blocks on that, and you're there's this energy of you really wish you could just you know and stop doing this intense thing with this person, and then you guys but this is a part of your process. Like, as crazy as it sounds right now, like, just rock with it. This is a part of your process. Like, every relationship starts in its way, and it starts in a way that it meets you where you are. And this type of situation is where I feel like you both were very serious about romance. You're very serious about love. You wanted families, and in terms of what family means for you, you've invested in yourself in order to be prepared for that. And whatever happened prior to this situation, you thought that you were on probably the fast track to that. Probably both of you were there in that some form of fashion. And things just blew up in a way that you just didn't understand. You were like, I thought I was doing everything right. And then this thing happens. The variable is always going to be there's another human being involved, and as much as we think we know someone, the truth of the matter is we really only know as much as they want to show us and tell us. Okay, so that block is something like that for both of y'all in its own way. Now, the Ace of Wands, the Three of Cups, and the Knight of Swords being here in reverse. The Ace of Wands in the upright is this: you both know that you have the right energy and connection with each other. It's also points towards a very healthy, intimate life, both physical intimacy and mental intimacy. You guys share a great deal with each other. You are a great support system for each other, and it's long been more than a physical relationship. This is again what pushes y'all towards that energy of we should just go ahead and stop playing with each other. Like, really good with that with each other. Like, y'all really are good friends. Like, you check in. If you all haven't been doing your thing for a couple of months, there is not this. There's always the check in. There's always the hey. There's always a message or a funny that's sent. Like, I'm thinking about you. You on my mind, or whatever's going on. Like, it's a pretty dope setup out here. The energy that I'm getting, unconventional but dope. I like it. I like it when it's customized. Okay. The Sun card, the Three of Cups. Yep. You all have a really good setup. Loving, caring, community. You know each other's friends. You like, it's a nice little vibe. It's more so like everybody keep messing with y'all. Like, when y'all gonna finally stop, da 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 da, like all of that. When you're away, there you're missed, you're asked about. Like, yeah. And for some of you, if they just got the information, like, you may not live in the same city, which also allows that space to be there because you're not close quarters in that way. So you're not far from each other, but you're not close. Like, say they live upstate, you live downstate, that type of thing. It's not super long distance, but it's distance between the two of you all physically, it feels like, which supports certain aspects of the energy described. The Lovers here with the Knight of Swords in reverse. Conversations that you're not having, in that time of where we're saying you're just like, this is the cycle, and it's so close you could taste it, but before you could taste it, there's work that you all have to do individually, and then the keys will present itself, the door will be opened, right? But first, before you can do that, the divine is saying to yourself, if you really want this and you really want this to work, we have to address what the block is from the past. Like, we gotta get on a space where we get a plan together to release that energy with the order to make space for what is trying to come through. Hence this Four of Cups being in reverse to this Four of Wands. Like, that emotional energy, that emotional block from your past you have to begin to release that. And that may be to actually have that conversation with each other in some way. Like, somebody opens that up to say, you know what, this makes sense for us, like, I don't know about you, we get to this place where it's like we should, and then this thing happens where like we both push back. Well, I do when this is why I do it. Like, and I feel like this Three of Swords, I'm always hurting you when I do that, but you always find the space to forgive me for that because I know you have a deep understanding for why I'm that way, why I don't want to talk about it, why we both avoid it because we don't want to bring it up for fear of repeating that cycle. But that is what's causing the block, the stop. The connection is strong enough between the two of you all to hit the wall, bounce back, hit the wall, bounce back, hit the wall, bounce back. But then, like, so somebody got to, what the fuck, can we please get a sledgehammer, some type of shit to get through this motherfucker? Wow! Right. Because the Four of Wands is waiting. Once you all commit, you'll have this complete, like, you commit to trying to commit. You'll have this, like, relief. You know what I'm saying? Because the truth is out. I want you. Listen, I want you. I'm not going to do that. I'm a warrior. I was going to do it, but I ain't going to do it. I'm a warrior, damn it. Man, Divine, we have 5 best cards for steps to solution. Steps to resolution, please. Steps towards resolution. Oh, I know who he is. They call you Chris Hansen. I call you Chris Hansen. I gotta get on warrior mode. 3 more cards, please. The 6 of Pentacles in reverse, clarifying the 4 of Swords and the 3 of Swords. The 6 of Pentacles being in reverse is you need to be generous with yourself and graceful with yourself here about the past connection and not be mad at yourself that you've been in a holding pattern with that energy. If you really consider it, it's no way that it wouldn't have you in a chokehold for a minute. Whatever went down to your past, it's okay to say it knocked you out. It knocked the breath out of you. It sat you down. It put you on your butt. Like, that's okay because that's human and that's what happened. And that's the first step towards healing. Like, yeah, that was, yeah. But it doesn't mean that you dwell there, but you do recognize that it was something that you had to overcome. Okay. And giving yourself grace, pouring that back into yourself is important so that you have it to give because now your cup needs to be to overflowing. The Judgment in reverse on the Ace of Wands and the Knight of Wands. That's one of the biggest parts about this relationship and this connection that you guys love is that you don't hold judgment over yourself and over others. It's like a very peaceful and calming energy when you guys do connect, whether it be face to face or otherwise. It's always a pleasure, even if it is uncomfortable, right? You know that at the end of it, it's going to be okay. Like, you know, you guys have weathered a lot of storms together in various, in different types of scenarios and situations, not just romantically. And this person constantly impresses you and you constantly impress them in terms of how you guys are able to reserve judgment and just want to have an understanding. Sometimes when I see this energy like this, like you just want to have an understanding more so than pass judgment on the situation. You know how to let the things that are dead and dead weight go, and how to focus on the things that, you know, matter, that you try to get you may not agree with what's going on with each other, what you're doing or how things are unfolding, but you trust the person and try to gain an understanding of where they're coming from. So the 9 of Pentacles here clarifying the 3 of Cups and the Sun card. The 9 of Pentacles is definitely about having all the things that you need and coming to the table with equal give and take, right? You being able to receive, to give and receive, equanimity, equilibrium, right? And the 2 of you all have been going through that process unbeknownst to you. Like, that's what you've really been learning to do with each other. You've just been learning to like yourself again, to like someone else, to allow someone to get close enough to you, but to still keep your standards in place. Like, there's been a lot of cool things that have been going on, but you've been thinking that because of it, you weren't getting what you society would say you should be doing. It wasn't going in, it's going in that direction, but not necessarily that straight and linear path. Sometimes it's a winding road. And relationships aren't just about, each other, you all as a couple, but it's about what you're learning and how you're developing yourself personally, and how you're blossoming, coming into yourself and understanding yourself more, and the reflection of someone else who is in love with you or loves you in that way, right? This Nine of Pentacles is saying now that you two have an under, you're breaking through. At least you're here hearing it, and you'll be able to now be like, okay, let's try that. Let me try to open up the conversation. Let me try to create a dialogue and see what's really going on. The Knight of Cups, clarifying the Knight of Swords and the Lovers in reverse. Be gentle with each other. You guys need to go out on a date. A real date, not a hangout session, and like put that shit on type date. Like, y'all hang out all the time, you look good all the time. I'm not talking about that. I'm not saying y'all going out looking like bums. No. What I'm saying is, though, like, you put some real, like, there's been this place I've been wanting to try, that type of date. Not your regular haunts. Something a little, create a memory, okay? That type thing. Put a little something on now. And then here with the Four of Wands clarified by the King of Swords in reverse and the Four of Cups in reverse. I feel like really have a long and strong talk with yourself about what you really want to bring to this situation. If you open up this door for yourself before you start doing it with this person, to really have a long and strong talk with yourself and with the divine about what it is that you really see yourself showing up as if you choose to go this path to have a relationship. Like, don't just do it because you can, because right now everything is copacetic. Don't move on this because you think you should, in the terms of like it's just the next logical step. It's got to be both head and heart, because the heart needs to overflow so that the head can always stay steady and do what's right in spite of what's going on around it. Okay, you got to have it to give. So that part. Okay, that is the session. I appreciate you, darling. I hope that it was of help to you. And do remember that back then is not now. Always be in harmony with your surroundings. Stay sucker free. Hope to see you again.